Okay, so let's talk about agentic AI. It's the term everyone's buzzing about, right? This future of autonomous systems that can actually think and act for themselves. But with all the hype, it honestly feels like we're all trying to piece together a puzzle in the dark. So today, let's turn on the lights and get a good look at what this picture really is. But here's the thing. To really get what's going on, we have to challenge the story we've all been told about AI's journey. So just think about this for a second. What if the evolution of AI isn't the simple, straight line we all imagine? You see, at the heart of all the confusion is this idea called conceptual retrofitting. Now, it's a fancy term, but it describes a really simple mistake. We're slapping old, outdated labels from past versions of AI onto this brand new tech. And by doing that, we're completely missing how these new agentic systems actually work. Okay, so if the old story is wrong, what's the real one? Well, it turns out there's a much clearer way to see the entire AI landscape. And it all starts when you realize we're not looking at one family tree, we're looking at two. Now, this is the standard history most of us know. You've seen it before. It kicks off with rule-based symbolic AI back in the 50s, then moves into machine learning, then deep learning, then the huge generative AI boom, and finally lands us here, today, with agentic AI. It looks like a perfect, logical progression, one step just building on the last. So it seems obvious then that agentic AI is just the next domino to fall in this single line, right? But what if that neat, clean timeline is actually hiding the real story? And here it is. This is the crucial point. That single linear path is wrong. Agentic AI didn't just evolve from one ancestor. It actually branched out, creating two completely separate family trees, two distinct lineages that operate in fundamentally different ways. This brings us to what's called the dual paradigm framework. On one side, you've got the symbolic or classical lineage. This is AI based on explicit logic and careful step-by-step planning. On the other side, you have the neural or generative lineage, which is all about statistical patterns and emergent behavior. Seriously, it's almost like we're talking about two different species of AI. To make this idea really stick, let's use a metaphor. Let's think of these two AI paradigms as the architect versus the artist. One builds with precision and rules, the other creates with intuition and inspiration. So let's break down how they work. The architect, that's our symbolic AI. It follows a detailed blueprint. Every step is planned, it's logical, it's predetermined. The artist, our neural AI, it improvises. It looks at millions of examples and then creates something new based on the patterns it recognizes. And this difference in their process is massive. The architect's logic is verifiable and transparent. You can pop the hood and see exactly why it made a decision. It's kind of like checking the math on a blueprint. The artist, on the other hand, is opaque. It's a black box. Its reasoning is emergent, and it's really hard to peer inside and see how it works. And this, of course, leads to very different strengths. The architect is reliable and consistent. It will perform the exact same way every single time, which is perfect for certain jobs. The artist is adaptable and creative. It can handle new situations and ambiguity in a way the architect just can't. Now let's see how this plays out when these AIs have to work in teams. The architect's world uses algorithmic protocols. You can think of it like a strict digital contract. It's deterministic and super easy to verify. The artist's world, though, relies on structured conversation managed by a large language model. It's stochastic, meaning unpredictable, and much harder to verify. Two totally different ways of getting teamwork done. So why does any of this actually matter outside of a computer science lab? Well, because choosing the right AI for the job is one of the most critical decisions we're all going to face. You can't just grab an AI. You have to pick the right kind of AI. For example, take a super high-stakes field like healthcare. When a life is on the line, you absolutely 100% need an architect. You need precision, predictability, and absolutely zero room for creative improvisation. And why is that? Because healthcare demands unwavering safety. It requires complete verifiability, so you know exactly why a decision was made. And it needs to be strictly auditable to meet all kinds of compliance and regulatory standards. The architect paradigm is the only one that can guarantee all three. Okay, now let's flip the script and go to a completely different world. Finance. In a dynamic, constantly changing environment like the stock market, you need an artist. You need an AI that can see patterns no human could ever spot and adapt in real time. The artist is perfect for finance because of its advanced pattern recognition. It can adapt instantly to market shifts and, this is the crucial part, it can synthesize vast amounts of unstructured data. We're talking news reports, social media, earnings calls, all of it, to make informed predictions. An architect would be completely lost. And this split also means they have fundamentally different risks. For the architect, if something goes wrong, accountability is traceable. You can find the flawed logic or the programmer's error. For the artist, accountability is, well, it's diffuse and really hard to pin down. It's like we need two completely different safety manuals for them. So if one is reliable and the other is adaptable, where do we go from here? This isn't a competition. The real frontier, the exciting part, is about getting the best of both worlds. The ultimate goal isn't for one of these to win. The future of powerful but also trustworthy AI is all about making them work together in harmony. This is the whole concept of neurosymbolic integration. The idea is to combine the architect's rock-solid reliability with the artist's creative adaptability. You basically use the symbolic logic to act as a guardrail, to verify and constrain the neural network's creativity. This is how we can build AI that is both incredibly powerful and genuinely trustworthy. So in the end, the ultimate challenge isn't choosing between the architect or the artist. It's figuring out how to design a future where they can build and create together, combining the best of logic with the best of intuition. And figuring that out, well, that's the next great chapter in the story of AI.